Yeah.
have them introduce them.
Okay. And then Deb, you have to leave, right?
Hey, I wanted to
So
check.
you're all the way down here.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
I have to leave about 4.
We're good.
I have another meeting at 11.
Quarter two. Okay. All right, well, just give me a nudge if we're getting to the point and you can't stay any longer.
Okay. Well, we're live, Judy.
Okay. Okay, good morning. Welcome to the IDA meeting. I'm going to ask the members that are here in the room to go around the room and just give your names so that Chris can maybe identify a few people as we're talking here. We do have, Rich is going to be on. Is that Rich? That
No, it's Jeff.
Okay, that's Jeff. Okay, and Rich will be joining us in a little bit. And my name is Judy Hopkins, and I'm the chair of the IDA.
I'm Randy Shaler, I'm the vice chair of the IDA.
Doug Frank, I'm the treasurer of the IDA.
Barb Benjamin,
Sorry.
operations director.
Craig Clark, the executive
I
director.
apologize to the group. I'm having a great deal of trouble hearing everyone. I'm gonna try to dial back in.
Okay.
John Ricky, IDA member.
Do you want
Is that better, Jeff? I think it's him, it's not us.
Hmm?
Jed, are you okay now?
Where is the microphone? Where is our microphone?
It's right here.
All the way up there? Or
It's
there?
right here.
Yes.
It's not the microphone, because Chris is hearing, it's fine.
So he's gonna. Maybe I'm far away from him.
Jeff?
Jeff, is it Jet or Jeff?
Jeff, like the airplane.
I am hoping this is better.
Oh.
You're clear. Yeah, you're much clearer.
Okay.
Just let us know, Jed, if you can't hear. We still certainly want you to be able to hear, so we'll keep trying to speak louder. Not sure where we lost you, but do you want us to introduce the members going around the table?
God, I really apologize. It is completely mumbled on my end, and all I have is echo. Let me be the third time's the charm. I'm gonna try one more time.
Is he calling in on his phone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because usually that clears up my problems most of the time.
But it's not me on the phone.
On the phone, my audio seems to work better.
Yeah, it's not us.
Yeah, I can't ever get mine to work on.
Because we've had no trouble back and forth on this system before.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, you're really clear with us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you faintly, Craig, but I have a tremendous amount of, everything is reverbed back. I mean, I'm completely in echo.
Do you have,
Yeah, I'm the same.
Rich?
Yeah, this is Chris. I'm getting the echo pretty bad as well.
What I'll do is let me log off and log back on. It's never done that before. I'll leave and come back on.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Is that better?
So keep talking.
Is it still, is it okay now? Are we okay? Jet?
No, we can't hear them.
He's not talking. He's on. See, our two are muted. Who's 518? There we go. Hey, Chris, are you okay now? I think
he just dropped off.
I think he was on twice. He was causing the trouble. Is it okay now?
It is.
Keep talking. Jeff, can you hear me at the other end of the table?
Yeah, I believe Chris has dropped off.
That's
And
okay.
I have a terrible echo.
I don't know why, because I think he had two people on there. I think that was his problem.
And I'm sorry, Craig, I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear a word.
We've used it for 3 or 4 months and had no trouble with it. I don't know if somebody screwed up with it. I have no idea. Any ideas what to do? I have no idea because I've never had this trouble before. I wonder if somebody messed with it.
Must be on my favorite.
Okay.
I'll try it again.
Maybe we
Oh, I know what I
have
do.
him on the phone.
Can you hear me at all, Jet?
Well, let's try this. Do you guys hear me?
Yes, you're clear. Jet, are you available?
I don't know if that was a question for me.
Yeah, that was.
Are available.
Yeah, if you could we can hear you clearly. If you can give us our presentation, I can even call you if we have a question.
Sorry, I missed that. I think you said, Craig, you would call me if you had a question.
Yes.
He's using his phone right now.
Yeah, he's on his phone. He's on his phone, isn't he?
I know. Let me figure out what to do. I have no idea what to do. Never had this trouble before. Hello?
He's,
Why don't we just put you on the speakerphone?
he's the chair of this switch.
There we go. That's on the speaker. He's on my phone.
Hi, everyone.
And then we're looking to expand.
Here we go. Jet's here.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, Jet. We're sorry we're having such a problem. We're anxious to hear your presentation. Maybe, actually, I need to call the meeting to order, but we should have Jet go first. And then,
Jet, what I'll do while she's getting the meeting to order, I'll get you on our speakerphone, okay?
yes, good.
Okay, should I hang up, Craig?
Yeah, I'll just call you on our speakerphone.
Okay, yep, just, you have my number, thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, we are officially calling the meeting to order. We have taken attendance. The only person absent from the board right now is Ridgewell, and he will be joining us in just a little bit. We've been having some technical difficulties, so we apologize for the delay. First order of business is does anyone have a conflict of interest to declare on today's business? Hearing none, I will take that as a no. We will go ahead and approve the minutes. So if you've all had a chance to read them, Barb, thank you for the detail that you provide for us again. And we need a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. Second by John Ricky. Any questions or comments about the minutes? If not,
I'll put you on the speakerphone here. Okay.
all those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That is approved. The next order of business would be the abstract report, the expenses. Take a look at those, please, and I'll accept a motion to, accept.
So moved, Judy.
Thank you, Doug. Okay, a second?
Second.
Thank you, John. Okay, any questions about the abstract? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That is passed. Next would be the banking and financial report. We'll accept a motion to approve that from Doug. Thank you very much. John, thank you. And any comments about those? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that is approved. Are we set to go, Craig?
Jet, you're okay now, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, he can
Okay,
hear
I've got
me.
you on speakerphone.
Okay, okay,
So this is Jet Mehta, and he's the head of Indus Hospitality, who we've been working with, and he can describe his project in Wellsville.
Good morning again to everyone. Thank you for providing me with some time in your busy schedule for your meeting. As Craig just mentioned, I'm the president and CEO of Indus Hospitality Group. We're a Rochester-based company. We operate over 75 hotels, restaurants, and we're commercial real estate owners as well. We're proud to have been part of the Wellsville community for over 20 years. Back in 2002, we did open the Microtel, and then in some other phases, we built a Dunkin' franchise and at the former lumberyard site. The request today is to talk about a wholesale renovation of the hotel, which of course is over 20 years old now. So we like to call it a drywall in renovation. So not quite to the studs, but all new vinyl wall covering, paint, including the ceilings, new carpet, all new furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and really modernizing the facility, reworking the lobby areas, and just positioning the hotel for another 20 years would be something we're interested in doing, we're desirous of doing. Need to have a little bit of support, and that's when I got connected with Craig. The other idea we would like to complete is a complete overhaul of the Dunkin' facility. That did just reach its 20th year in February, and in order to continue for another 20 years, it would be again a complete redo, both inside and outside. And then I think an exciting project we'd like to build, which would be new, is we do have a corner lot available that we've kind of been figuring out what to do with for a long time, right next to what is now the community bank ATM. Of course, it was Steuben Trust when it originally went in, but the idea would to be a new build, new construction Taco Bell franchise, and that would sit right on the corner. So wanted to have those conversations today, and of course answer any questions you all may have.
okay, thank you, Jet. We'll ask for questions from the board. I have a couple.
Go ahead.
Okay, Jet, will there be any increase in the number of rooms in the hotel, and also any increase in the size or the services offered at the Dunkin'?
No additional rooms, no additional, did you say signs? I'm sorry, just a little muted.
No, services.
Signage?
Services, yeah, services at the Dunkin'. There is not a bakery there, right?
No, yeah, that's a really good question, and thanks. Originally, when we built the facility, we did have a bakery operation in the back of the buildings. It was our first Dunkin'. I'm proud to share that with the group at Wellsville. We have a lot of history, and I have a very soft corner for Wellsville. That was our second hotel and our first Dunkin', and we've kind of kept ourselves busy over the years. It would not have a baking facility. It would purely be a retail store. So retail, dine-in, continue with the patio, everything gets renovated. Of course, it really is a drive-through business. The majority of the business, about 60+%, is through the drive-through. And as the world has changed over time, there is quite a bit of digital ordering, pickup, and the world of delivery is starting to happen as well. So no changes, but really just to modernize the facility.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional employment?
Yes, we would have at the new Taco Bell, we would have 20 to 30 new jobs. And both the Dunkin' and the hotel, if done right, if we can get the renovation done and we can do our part and run the facility the way it should, it tends to increase the volume of business slightly, which of course then drives the need for more employment. So I would say with the existing hotel and Dunkin' franchise, we could see as much as a 10% increase in employment, which would be 1 or 2 or 3 new people at each location, depending on the success of the renovation. And then again, the 20 to 30 new jobs at Taco Bell.
Can you talk to us about the occupancy of the hotel, the history of it and where it is now?
The hotel has always been a reasonable performer. I mean, it really took a lot of guts and a lot of nerve, and the community was very supportive. The village really wanted a hotel, wanted a nationally branded flagged hotel, which we were happy to deliver. It doesn't perform the same it would if it was in a large metropolitan area, but it's done okay. It needs a shot in the arm, as things have changed over the past 20 years, and some of the large employers they look different today than they did even 5 or 10 years ago. We think it's the opportunity, and unfortunately the company is positioned like this.
Jeff, this is Randy. One of the things that, how are you?
Wonderful.
One of the things that crossed my desk some time ago was an application that you folks, a letter asking for support, which I did provide for an application that you sent into, I believe it was ESD, that included some enhancements in the town property or in the Microtel property on the other side of Dyke Creek. Or something of that nature. Is that still included in your plans?
We would love to do that. When when you and I had that meeting with Craig, and there was an opportunity for New York Main Street revitalization, and really knowing where the gateway at the southern end, if I have that right. We thought it would have been a really nice opportunity to upgrade the parking lot, upgrade the landscaping, and then do something very community driven, like a clock tower or a sitting area, places to do farmer markets or, farm markets, and just places to gather. So, over the years, we've done so much development in the region, and as we've, gotten a little better at it every time, we're doing these types of community spaces, and we really, really wanted to do something like that. But Mayor, as you know, we missed the deadline on the application, and that funding source isn't available. And, candidly, I think it's great for the project, great for the community, and has, wonderful aesthetics and utility. But there's no financial return or justification for it. So at this time, it's not part of the project, the pavilion, et cetera, clock tower, the different ideas we were kicking around. We would like to incorporate, upgrading the parking lot, upgrading the landscaping of the unified development with what we hope is the hotel, 2 restaurants, and the bank facility, the drive-through ATM.
Okay.
Hi, this is John Rickey. I'm also a Allegheny County legislator. I'm 2 years on the IDA board. Did you receive a pilot the first time when you opened this hotel?
We did not. When we opened the hotel, we did not receive a pilot. We were in a program New York State had at the time called the Empire Zone, which did provide some school and property tax savings on the back end as credits from New York State. So it's taking me back well over 10, I mean, we've been out of the Empire Zone for well over a decade. I believe it was a 10-year program, which is pretty common in New York State, whether it's 485B or a pilot, or at the time, the Empire Zone. We did participate in that. If I have it correct, we paid our full school and property taxes every year, and then we were able to apply for some credits from the state on our state tax filings.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what that program was, and it was a 10-year program, yes.
Yeah, the old Empire Zone
Yes.
program.
Some of the files.
Yeah, no, I bet. Which is sort of, there's a program out there today, which is a federal program, the Opportunity Zone, which this probably falls in, but the Opportunity Zone is a little complicated. It's more like a real estate 1031 exchange where you have to kind of sell something and have a gain, and that's just not our business model. We're not builders and sellers or buyers and sellers. We like to develop something and own it and operate it for forever. Truly is how we look at things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there other questions from this end? I think you've answered all the questions, Jet. Thank you very much for the explanation. We are happy to see this progress for the southern end of the county and look forward to it. I know we're going to be voting on a public hearing resolution in just a little bit. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
No, thank you for that very much. Again, I'm just grateful for everyone's time and the opportunity to meet with all of you today. And if anything comes up, please reach out. But we'll look forward to hopefully a favorable response and working together again.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep in contact, Jet, okay?
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great meeting.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
I don't know why he had to we've never had that trouble before.
Yeah.
His
That
system.
was very good.
No, I think it was
That
his
works good on
system.
the phone.
I'm glad we had, I looked over and go, oh, let's do it the old way.
Good idea.
Yeah, because sometimes you get that, usually, I think it's usually when you have two people call in, they get that, but usually one person, he must have had it somehow set up on his phone. But, okay, we're good.
Okay, let's see, Deb, you have to leave at 10:30?
Well, I have a
We'll be
meeting
quick.
at 11, so I don't want to get a speeding ticket.
Okay, shall we let her go?
Sure, it's up
Okay.
to, it's up to you.
Sure. I just asked Deb to come and give us an update on what's going on with the establishment of the economic development project. And so Deb is the chair of the Planning and Development Committee and been super involved in all of this. So thanks, Deb.
Okay, thanks. I don't know how much you know of what's going on. I know John is, he sits
Much
on
as
the.
they tell me.
Well, you know as much as I do. He sits on the P&D committee also, so he plays a dual role in this. But we've been talking about this at the county for, Judy, since you were there.
Since
About
before I was there.
what economic development organization should look like in Allegheny County, and the way we are right now. We have a economic development department that with some people, you know, we have one, and then we have nobody manning it, and then we did a new local law. We were trying to get a director, and then in our process, we've just recently gone out and talked with 3 different counties on how their organization. So it's a economic development organization, agency, or whatever the alphabet soup is. So we talked to Chautauqua County, and we talked to Genesee County, and we talked to Lewis County. All 3 are different. They all have different personalities. I'll start with Genesee County. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they run everything through their IDA. And one of the reasons they run it through their IDA is because the members and the employees in the IDA get state retirement. So they found that as a benefit to hire people. They have a staff of 5 people. They have financial people on it. Their focus on Genesee County is placemaking. They go out and they create site-ready areas to bring businesses in. So they're focused. They don't want, what we found is they don't want to get into tourism. They don't want to be housing. They want that clear focus, and they've been very successful. They've been doing it for about 20 years. Lewis County has been about 2 years. They're a little bit different. They're more like us. They have a lot of tourism. They just recently, let me see if their organization is a little bit different. They have a board of directors. They have a president and CEO. They have, so I'm not going to go into all of them, but they're all different. But what they all do have is they have an organization, and they all have an advisory council. Most of them have county employees who dotted line, or maybe a county employee, but their responsibility is to the board of directors or the staff of this new agency. They all have the IDA as a component. Genesee County, the IDA is basically runs everything, but that's.
They all have fairly large line items from the county.
Yes. So, yes. So what we found is the county can't do a lot, the IDA can't do a lot. So they all have workforce.
An LDC, Local Development Corporation.
So we know we have to create this LDC. And it was like, how do we go about doing that? And it looks like you guys, Craig said you had one.
We had one, it was actually approved in 2010. We never filed the paperwork. So now we're trying to figure out what we might want to change in that to file it, yes. So we have an LDC.
So we know, the county knows, we got to have this LDC to be a component of that, because that LDC can do things that both the county and the IDA can't do. So we're looking at what this new organization is going to look like, what the personality is here for Allegheny County. We just recently hired an economic development director. She doesn't come on board until May 6th. So that is a step in the right direction. So how she's going to fit in, how we're going to fit in, how we're all going to work together is our next step. Yeah. And so what I've asked is, so we had a team of, John, you sat in on it, Craig, and Judy sat in on these discussions with these counties. We had 2 people from my committee on there, and we had a couple of people from the county sit in on that. So moving forward, now that we've gotten this, I'm proposing that we have at least 2 people from the IDA, 2 people from the county, 2 people from our from our committee, and the local chambers, because the chambers play a role in, they're not over here by themselves. We all need to work together. So I want to bring, we have 2 formal chambers, and to sit down and now say, what is this going to look like for Allegheny County, and put together an org chart for Allegheny County. So I want everybody's input in on this. So my vision is to have this done by June. We've been talking about this for a lot of years, so I'm just gonna, this is our goal, is to have at least a couple recommendations to go back to the county legislature in June and say, this is what we think this new organization would look like and should look like. We have some training. We've been working with Camoin, who did our strategic plan that you've all been involved in. I mean, I think you've been invited to a lot of.
And they've also we've handed out both advanced copies and the final copy. Yeah.
So we also talked with Camoin about when we move forward with this, this is not just a county thing, it's not just the legislator thing, it's all of our different agencies working together, and what are our different roles that we each play in this new organization. We should complement each other and not work against each other. And so they have done this kind of training before. So we actually yesterday, just July 18th, which is a Thursday, put up to hold a training to bring all these different, to bring the IDA board in, the legislators board, to bring in some people from what we've been talking about, Accord, because they're going to be a part, they play a part in all of this, the chambers, and sit down and just have a little training session about what is economic development, who does what, how do we all complement, because we all have different roles to play. So we've put that date in for July 18th. And hopefully in June, we'll get an approval of an organization so we can move forward and actually start developing this new organization, which will comprise of an advisory board, county employees who may be dotted line. They may be county employees, but actually they work for. So that's where we are. Do you have any questions?
So what are some of the things that you envision that would be accomplished through this board, through this, the LBC, the organization, that's not happening right now?
Well, when we talked to all three counties, one of the things they said is get it out of the county, get it out of government, because things take so long. And we asked what pros and cons were. So we've been working on this, like I said, for 5 years, if not longer, to try to do this. And that's just bureaucracy in the county. And I don't know about John, our frustration is when you go into the 15 legislators who know nothing about some of all of this stuff, things just kind of grind to a halt and it takes forever to get, we're not nimble, we can't react, we can't turn around and do what I think businesses need to be done. But I think they play a role. But by getting it outside of the county, we can be more nimble, we can do things that the county might not can do.
The biggest thing is having enough staff to do what the plan says we need to get done, which is, I think I do a decent job with the larger businesses on retention and expansion, but we don't do enough. And we don't do anything for smaller businesses. So it's kind of having enough staff to do the kind of things that are in that plan.
So, and also what we found through the course of the strategic plan with Camoin is we needed a single point of entry, because right now people don't know where to go. And so we need a single point of entry. We need to do better marketing on that and who that is and how to go about doing the staffing. What we found on the staffing is they have a lot of financial people on them. So, and that it would bring all of us together going down the road going down the same road, working together. Because right now we're all out there doing our own thing, thinking that we're doing the right thing, and sometimes not talking to each other. So it brings us all together, working together, and working with the staff to be able to go down and hopefully being able to get some more grants, because the county really, when we talk about going out after, Ralph Wilson Development Grant, was it Chautauqua County got $1 million?
From Wilson, we could probably get something similar from them.
For their startup, to over the course of 3 years to help them fund this and get them going. Well, the county can't go after that money. So it just opens up a lot of doors. To your point, we did find that of all three of them, the county does help out financially with a line item every year into their, I think, was it Chautauqua was $285,000 a year.
Genesee was similar,
Genesee
250.
was similar,
Yeah.
And what I found interesting was Chautauqua or Lewis County, they got all the bed tax. So it was funneled into this group and right now our bed tax goes into the general fund. we would have to really fight that, won't we?
Ready for that fight.
There's never been a formula for helping to fund the development of economic
Right.
development in the county. And so this would allow this to happen, a formula of this comes here, this comes here, this comes here.
I think the bigger, not just is there formally to have access to it, but there's a commitment on an annualized basis, I think.
You don't have that right now from the county. We've never had a line item. And I mean, again, I don't think this is, I can't guarantee this is gonna happen, but my vision would be that there would be a line item every year. And that's, this much goes to this. And right now we have to go and fight for it or ask for it every year. And that takes time and months and years. And
Yeah,
so that's the goal. And I think we're at the point where I'm gonna say the legislators right now would all buy into that. Do you
I
not
think
agree?
so. They bought into the Camoin report. That's what Camoin says to do. All these
So-
counties say to do it, so.
And that's a very important point because legislators change. I mean, legislatures change, every 4 years and you get a different philosophy about economic development and some here and some there and nobody there and all of that stuff. So to get it established would be a huge achievement.
That was the Hopkins plan, right?
Yeah.
The Ted Hopkins.
How long ago was that?
That was,
We're charging
it was
forward.
prior, it was probably 2010.
So I feel a very immediacy in this because we have until the next election to get this done. I see the legislators, you could have a third of the legislators be new, or not more, but at least it's probably a third of the legislators. And what my experience is, you go back to square one and start all over again. So that's why I'm pushing so hard to try to get this done with the legislative body that we have. Chautauqua County, some of the reasons can receive and distribute funding, we already talked about that, I'm sorry. Be far more nimble. They keep the politics out of it. That seems to slow things down. And I'm going to quote the one person said it moves a hell of a lot quicker. It avoids politics and projects they can work on projects outside the norm for the county. I'm trying to look at the benefits that they all said. All of them said, keep it out of the county. Keep the politics out of it.
On the time I've been doing the economic development, there's hardly any county that doesn't have some kind of an organization that does this.
And they all have the LDC.
Right. But they almost all have an EDL that does the work. Yeah. And the IDA is part, and they're a player, and it depends how strong they are as far as support and everything else, but they're still a very important part of that picture.
So I was really, really excited when Craig discovered that you had this here, and you had the bylaws, because when we talked about it, it was like, oh, this is gonna take years to get this done. But I was told 2 years to get this done. And I don't think we have 2 years to get this done. And not that I wanna rush it, but I also don't, we have a window.
We have bylaws in front of us.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so that, when I heard that was like, that's an integral part of all this.
Yeah, without that, you can't do the functions, to be honest. Sure.
Would it make sense to understand the organization and how these three entities are going to fit together before we approve bylaws?
No,
Because as an example, this clearly had the one bylaw, the existing bylaws or whatever that we were sent, pretty clearly to me has this subordinate to the IDA.
That's not
Directors serve at the pleasure of the IDA. Is that where we want to go? Do we know where we want to go? That's my question. So would it make sense to hold on approving or forming bylaws until we know what the organization is?
Well, the LDCs that I'm aware of are formed like this, just so you know.
So Chautauqua, they have their IDA and then reporting to that is their Economic Development Agency, which is your LDC. that you're
Right.
talking about, so.
Which is the same as what we have. It's run through the IDA.
Yeah.
And so is Genesee County. Both counties are LDCs. They're structured just like this one.
Yeah.
So
So
the,
you're
the county
you're
doesn't want
convinced that that will be the structure.
the structure will work fine with the advisory board and EDO because they still all work together.
And the EDO, how does the EDO fit into this?
The Economic Development Organization
It's
would be
the overall umbrella.
the umbrella that would work, and that's what they've done in Chautauqua County. They all work, there's really one EDO, but they work with the IDA, and all the funds go through the LDC, which is controlled by the IDA.
The EDO, I believe, was the structure that Deb was talking
The
about.
advisory
The
board.
membership from the different organizations and including the chambers, that organization she was talking
And they've
about.
been doing it for 2-3 years, and they actually thought it was the best way to go. That's why they went that way.
And the county, the county's role that I see right now is that we just hired an economic developer director, and that I'm gonna say that person will report to the EDO advisory board and be separate, although the county will pay for that salary to have her there. But she really works for that advisory board, the EDO, and coordinates with all of the.
And the
with-
EDO
coordinates
is the
with
organization that has two from each of the groups that you mentioned. Is that correct?
No, it could be. I think we.
Who's
need-
on the, who,
I'm
what
just,
is
I'm
the
just trying to put that
EDO?
group together.
To form
put
the
together
EDO.
the or- Form it.
And it could be,
then
it could be the same structure,
it
but it
could
could be
be-
different.
But then you can bring in businesses, local businesses, who you want to sit.
Okay, so that's not defined yet.
No,
Who sits on the EDO board?
It's not.
and most of them actually do have a lot of businesses on those
Yeah.
So
EDOs.
when is that gonna be decided as to who, how the structure of the EDO is?
Well,
That's what he's saying. By June, she's hoping to set.
by June, I hope to have at least a couple recommendations.
Framework
as
set
a
up.
Pathway to go down, a framework, so to speak.
And then who would be voting on that structure, Deb? Is it the legislature? Okay, so.
They would have to approve that, they agree that this is what we need to do. And then, well, but you guys all have a say in it, that's why I'm saying that's why I want representation from you guys and from the chambers and.
So going back to Randy's question, then, since that's down the road, is it necessary for us to pass this today?
No, I don't want, it's not necessary. The sooner the better. As I mentioned to Rich, and when I brought this up, is we have an outstanding potential grant for brownfields that we submitted. We cannot accept the grant unless we have an LDC. And I cannot get the $500,000 from the state until I get an LDC. So those two things to me are driving this more than even this. But we don't have to do it today. So, and Rich has done a good job of marking that up, and there's a lot of couple things in there I'm not sure we can take out or we should. So we might want to wait, but I would like, hopefully by May, we should approve it, I would guess. But I want to have that discussion today so we know why we're doing it. It's into two different packages that we need to have an LDC. It's been on my goal for a long time, but I finally found the paperwork.
Well, we've been a little busy with the ACUC, which kind of, it went in the direction of the ACUC instead of
Right.
this.
Yeah, the
this-
original intent was that's how they were going to do the water line. And then they decided to do the ACUC as a transportation corporation, which made more sense than doing this, but they should have done that as well. There was no reason not to have an LDC.
So Lewis County has an EDO that consists of the Chamber of Commerce, the IDA, and the Lewis County Development Corporation. They have 15 members on their board of directors. Chautauqua County, that was Genesee County. Lewis County has a board of directors, and they have an IDA over here, and they have a LDC over here, and they have separate board of directors for both of those organizations. So I don't know what your bylaws say, but that's how they're set up. And they both report
Right.
into the EDO. Chautauqua County,
Can we,
the Chautauqua County has an IDA and their LDC reports into the IDA. So we've got to figure that out. What makes sense?
Yeah, and that's my question. Not what makes sense is my question. It is, are we working to figure this out?
But- we need an LDC like this for our purpose anyways, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
And then this would also work for the EDO.
yeah.
So, I would think that we can vote on that in May, that's not a problem. We have time to revise and review those bylaws.
Yeah, the concern that I.
Because I
is-
think, I guess.
I know you're concerned, Randy, but I could tell you that's how the, I can't remember what they call it, is formed through the IDA, just like this one.
Deb has to leave, so any quick final questions for her? Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you. And I think the legislator for the P&D committee would be interested in your bylaws of that too. I mean, it's just out of how.
It's not to share till we're ready.
Right, no, I know that, I know
Just-
that, but yeah, they need to understand.
Yeah, that's,
So,
and when we get a final draft, I think we should share it, yes.
so the next step is to get the people together to look at this and say, all right, what makes sense for Allegheny County and
To meet the June deadline.
to meet the June deadline.
All right, thanks.
I think we can do it, huh? We can do it.
Rich, are you on?
Thanks for letting me
Thank
know.
you, thank you for coming.
Yes, I am.
Have a good
The
day.
sound is a little spotty.
Pardon?
Yeah, I don't know
Have a good
what,
day.
we just had Jed on here and I have no idea why. Do you want me to call on the phone?
That might be better.
I have no idea what somebody's done to this. I'm gonna have to have somebody troubleshoot it. We've never had trouble with it. Somebody must have used it and done something because today Jed had to call on the phone. I can call you right now on the speakerphone, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I have no idea what somebody did.
Oh, Chris. Okay. Okay, we may want to jump around a little bit. Let me just,
Well, I can't give any reports. I'm doing this.
yeah. I'm just thinking, Chris has been patiently waiting up there.
Well, do we have any questions of him?
That's the question, yeah. So,
Rich, let me call you on the speakerphone. Somebody must have done something to the system.
do you know which color is the CRC stuff?
Oh, we'll put you on the speakerphone. I apologize, I don't know what happened, but somehow we'll have to figure out what happened. But anyway.
Yes, yeah.
But Jet did this as well because he couldn't hear anybody. There
That's
you go.
my fault, I'm not there, so no problem.
No, it's not you. It's somehow the team isn't working right today.
Okay.
There we go. So Rich is on.
Okay, hi, Rich, can you hear us? Me?
Yes,
Okay.
perfectly, thanks.
Okay. Okay, my question was just, Chris has been waiting online from Canada.
He's for the CRC anyway, so let's finish up this business.
Okay, I just wondered if you wanted.
No, we're fine.
Okay, that's a step right. Okay, geez, where are we? Okay, we need to approve the resolution approving the public hearing for the Indus Welfare project, excuse me.
And we're not approving the project, we're just approving the public hearing, which I'll work with Randy on setting it up in the village.
Right, Craig, do you want to just tell us a little bit? Yeah, oh, here it is. It would be April 11th at 10 o'clock in the morning, in the village of Belmont at the.
No, that's our meeting. We don't
Oh,
have,
I'm sorry.
I have not set a time yet. I'll work with Randy.
I'm working with
It'll be in the next 2-3
classes
weeks.
that don't work anymore, so.
We're good.
Okay, just bring us up to date on,
So primarily it's the public hearing to review whether or not there's any support from the public for this project, which is, as we've already heard, it's to revitalize the Microtel, the Dunkin' Donuts, and to build a Taco Bell. And what we're proposing is obviously he's looking for mortgage tax abatement, some sales tax abatement, and then there'd be a pilot on the new facility, which would be the Taco Bell, not on the hotel. The hotel would stay on the tax roll.
okay. Would someone like to make a motion on that, resolution for the public hearing?
I'll move it.
Okay, thank you, John. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Randy. Okay.
Has to be a voice vote, I mean, individual.
Yeah. Any other questions about that? Otherwise, we'll go ahead and vote. Okay. Roll call voting. G votes yes. Randy?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Okay, that is unanimous. Aye. That motion is passed. Thank you very much. We also have a resolution regarding the seeker, that the IDA would be the seeker lead agency for the project, and we need a motion on that.
So moved.
Thank you, Randy and John. Any questions? Okay, although, wait, we have to.
Voice vote again, yeah.
Voice vote.
Individual vote, yeah.
Roll call.
Roll call vote, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just had. Okay, Judy, aye. Randy?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, thank you. Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is to discuss the local development corporation. Greg, do you want to?
We already discussed that quite a bit when Deb was here, but yeah,
Yeah.
basically, in 2010, the IDA approved forming an LDC. Primarily at that time was for the Crossroads project.
Hey, Craig, excuse me. I already know all this. If you're repeating this just for me, you don't need to.
No, I'm just doing it for the public to make sure.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
And so basically, it was never actually formed, and so I've sent out the old bylaws. Rich has done a good job of making some suggested edits. And we had a long discussion with Deb that LDC has two purposes. One would help the EDO as a way to basically take grants and possibly do loans. It also would help the IDA have a way to take grants again and do loans, things that the IDA cannot do itself. So I think it is time to form an LDC. It's been on the back burner until I found these bylaws. And I think what the next step would be is to look at all those edits that Rich has sent out, make sure clarification that they're all fine to do. And then I think we can probably vote on it at the next meeting.
Sounds good.
That makes sense? Rich, everybody has your edits, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So you did a good job of editing it, and I think you're clarifying some things that I think should be clarified. So we'll just make sure what we can add. I think most of those things we can probably do, and then we'll have a final draft at the board for the next meeting. As soon as I get that out, I'll get it sent out to the board.
okay, so we'll postpone that to the May meeting.
Right.
Okay,
So it's only for discussion anyways today.
okay,
And if there are any other edits any of the board members see, just send them to me. We'll get them included.
okay, then on old business, we've already had that discussion with Legislator Root.
The only question I have is we need to have a couple of people forwarded from that discussion group that's going to try to help to form the EDO. Obviously, I need to be on there for my discussion points. Is there someone, and we need to have, I would think someone else from the IDA on that group, and I would think it'd be the chair, but it's up to this group.
Okay, I'll do it.
Get the Hopkins plan done yet.
Yep.
So I'll make sure that you're listed on that group. And we'll make sure the whole group knows what the discussion is. Okay?
All right, yeah. Okay, we can move on to the CBDG. There's
Okay.
SBA grant. We have so many initiatives.
Two different grants, which are good.
I need some water.
The larger grant, which is the $1 million, the SBA grant, we have 3 left to get their reimbursements taken care of: Tufte's Ceramics, Nevi's Deli, and Sorvarello. And 2 of the 3 have already gotten all the information to Mike. The only one we're struggling with is Tufte's Ceramics to get all the information, and then we'll have our last request for the funds, and we'll have spent all that money. So that's been a good project for the 21 companies that got money.
Okay, the CBDG Micro Enterprise Grant.
The Micro Enterprise Grant, we're on draw 3, and there are 11 companies in the program. 5 have begun their projects, 4 are in constant communication and they're proceeding. There are 2 that he's still working with. One is Mac Welding.
I was gonna ask.
And the other one is Glass Laboratories. So
So we're still above water.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
we're still working with them. So
Okay, good.
so that's progressing quite well, actually.
Okay, good.
So we're on target with that.
Thank you. Gateway Center to Western New York Wilds.
They continue to work with Hunt on that as far as the layout and the water line and the sewer and the road. There's some, I guess they have to be working with the DEC on some of the runoff that's going to happen because of the road. So that's going to be delayed a little bit, but the road is going to be obviously put in sometime in the spring or summer. So it's like summer now. And once they have a proposal on the water line, we'll bring it back to the ACUC so they can look at that. And they're still working on grants. Don't worry, they're still, they've submitted a couple of grants.
Okay, Clean Energy.
Well, as you know, at least John knows, they passed the road use agreement at the legislature. Was it last meeting or
Last meeting.
Yeah.
Are you talking about for the wind project?
Yeah.
No joke.
So it's finally
Finally
passed.
got it. Yeah.
So hopefully now LECAB will close on the project and proceed because that was holding them up. They couldn't start working on that project. But I'll get you a date as soon as I hear from them.
Was that the last?
That was the last thing for us, yeah, because they're ready to start working on it as soon as I get that.
So they can
Move forward. They should be able to move
I'm
forward.
sure they'd like the next several months rather than going into
Right.
winter to get on that. So,
And the only other, we still got a few of the smaller clean energy projects. Most of them are, if not finished, or about complete. The only ones that haven't started are the 4 up in Burns and the 1 in Wellsville still has final approval from town of Wellsville yet.
Okay.
So
What's that Cuba one?
Cuba one's on hold.
That's this on hold.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it is.
Okay.
That was the other one that's on hold, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Glad you asked.
Great Lakes Cheese.
No update. I do know they met with the senators, representatives to look at trying to get some funds to extend the sewer line because the sewer system that they have there is okay for pre-treatment, but it does not meet the standards to go into the stream. So they're trying to figure out a way to get the effluent go into the wastewater treatment plant. And I think it's about a mile they need, right, to get it.
Right.
So they're trying to find some funding to do that, to make that more easier to market to people. So
Okay, sale of property. Are we talking about the parking lot or?
the parking lot's on hold yet, and the other one I have not put it on the website. I'll be putting that on this week, so.
So does that, the county has put the tax sale on hold?
On hold, yes.
Because of some stuff going on that I don't
They haven't
totally
got clear
understand.
direction from the state.
Oh, really?
Does
I guess
that
some
have
other
any
counties are
impact
doing
on
it.
this?
But
No,
that's what they're claiming. They haven't had clear direction from the state, what to do. They don't want to go ahead and get it, and then we end up having a chunk
the
of money.
whole tax sale thing is in limbo because of who gets the money.
You have to turn it back to the.
Turn it
But
back.
it's unique to tax sale, not
Nothing
unique
to do with this.
sale.
No, it's only a
Okay.
tax sale. This tax sale, yeah, because the laws changed so that now they're saying the money doesn't go back to the county, but it goes back to the previous owner.
Yeah. Supreme Court.
which is kind of bizarre. They haven't paid their taxes, but they're gonna get money back.
Use the county for their real estate agent. The county can only charge so very little administrative fee. It's not like you can, a couple $100
Yeah, I know.
on property.
So it's not worth having, well, it's not worth having a tax sale.
No, so they're just putting it on hold.
Okay, that covers old business. Any new business, Frank?
My only new business I put on here is our next meeting. We're supposed to meet at Jones. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. This kind of came out of a tour that Randy and I didn't go on at the hospital reception. And then we got to talking about how much knowledge we don't have about the new additions at the hospital and everything, and also the impact that the hospital has on economic development. I'm now on the Jones Memorial Board, and their meetings are just filled with things that relate to economic development in terms of attracting medical staff, building the network with the other counties and the other facilities. So I mentioned it to Jim, the CEO of the hospital, and they invited us to come and have a meeting there, our regular meeting in their boardroom, and then they will give us a tour of the facilities in the hospital after that. So we've arranged that for May. That's about the only month we can do it in this calendar year. So that's what the plan is for the May meeting, is to be in Wellsville at 10 o'clock, and then we'll work on the timing and everything of the tour. I have a feeling they might feed us something. They really are. They I don't.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I think that we ought to do more of that. I think that even if we only do it once a year, I'd like to see it maybe twice a year, but it would be nice to go to Alfred University.
Yes.
And do the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's good for us to know what else is going on in the county that we may or may not be involved in, but it certainly influences economic development. So, or even some of the industries.
I remember we used to do that with the United Way,
Mhm.
and it was very effective. Great way to learn about each of the agencies.
Yes, very much so. Okay, so 10
Maybe
o'clock.
their teams would work there.
What's that?
What's that?
Maybe their teams would work.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just teasing.
Oh, yeah,
I'll get that.
Maybe it has to every month because the board meeting is comprised of people from the U of R,